On this week's episode of Fish Addictions TV, we're heading up to Manitoba, Canada to Cross Bay, part of Cedar Lake, the fourth biggest lake in Manitoba. Now, what are we going to be doing here? We're going to be chasing master pike. Yes, you heard it, master pike. Now, we're going to be staying at Hobbs Resort. Now, this week, I'm sharing the boat with Tony Aloya and Anthony Kleinwalker, two of my good buddies that we always have a great time. We're going to have bonfires, we're going to be casting all day long, and we're even going to put a few walleyes in the boat. Stick with us for more Fish Addictions TV.
Addiction, the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. An addiction is not desirable. It is something that overtakes your life. What happens when an addiction cannot be stopped? An addiction is stronger than any one drug with only one cure. The cure is not rehab. It is not medication. It is not a counselor. The only cure for us is the water beneath our feet, the rod in our hands, the anticipation of that next big bite, and the camaraderie we all share. This is Fish Addictions TV.
Fish Addictions TV is brought to you by Eskimo Ice Fishing Gear and the rest of our fine sponsors.
You know, we get to fish all over the upper Midwest, but it truly is a treat to be able to cross the border up into Manitoba and truly get on some water that is basically untouched.
The trips always start out fun when you're coming up to Canada. You never sleep very well because you're so excited. We got an early start, 4:30. We're at Mike's house, loading up the boat, loading up the truck, getting ready to come up, chase some monster fish. The gang's here, we're packing up, we're going to Canada. The road trip starts now.
Ever since my first time coming on a Canadian trip, whether it be when I was younger or now, I always look forward to not only the amazing fishing, but the amazing scenery and getting away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, disconnecting from your phone, and just being able to relax for a set number of days.
You know, every time you have a trip like this planned, you just can't wait to get up here. So we took advantage of our anticipation of getting here, got up at 4 in the morning and got on the road by 5 a.m. And let me tell you, it was worth it.
So Mike and the boys pulled in here about mid-afternoon. They're all revved up, ready to go. It was a beautiful afternoon, and so I took them over to the map. I have a board right by the boat launch. There's some good weeds around the little creek right here. You know, lots of these little points and stuff. There's a nice big weed bed in here off of this gradual point. Okay. Kind of pointed out a couple of spots, and before you knew it, they were in the water and taking off.
You know, the reason we got up early and drove all morning to get here is to make sure that we had a few hours that first day to get on the water. And when we got here, we got a quick overview of the lake because there is no map. There is no lake chip for this lake. So we're kind of just feeling the lake out on our own. And what we were looking for was a deep basin kind of coming up into a shallow flat and between 7 and like 20 feet of water. And when you found that with weed structure, we learned very quick that's where those big pike like to be.
I love coming to Manitoba. Manitoba is one of my favorite places in the world to come fish. It's pristine waters, big fish, and lots of them. He hammered that. Nice.
Nice fish, bud.
Heck yeah. Let's get him off. Yeah. Now it's always important when you're handling these fish to get them right back in the water. I'm gonna let him go, and you also want to support the belly. You don't want to keep him out too long.
A few things we're gonna key on for these big pike is this lake is full of dead trees everywhere. It's a flooded basin is basically what it is. So we're gonna key on flooded timber areas with green growing in them. And obviously anywhere where there's cabbage and that kind of stuff. So we're gonna take these shorelines real nice and slow, 8 to 10, 12 feet of water, and just work them, kind of like we're bass fishing. We're just gonna work these shorelines over and over again. And if you take a look out there, they're just submerged logs everywhere out here. And we're going after big pike, and we're hoping that's where they're living.
Stick with us for more Fish Addictions TV. You're not going to want to miss this episode.
Manitoba, Canada's heart beats.
What do you got, Anthony? Decent one?
Yeah, little guy.
You need a net?
Yeah, we'll see.
Great job.
Grabbing him by hand.
Did he hit you hard?
Yeah, not too bad. Just kind of flipping both sides of the boat, so, you know, cover some water. We're trying to get it dialed in here, so.
Great job. That's about 2 in, what, 5 or 6 minutes? That was a blast, huh?
Yeah.
Let's get some more. First 10 minutes of being here and we already got 2 on, not bad. It was great fun, great camaraderie, and it was just a blast being in the boat with these guys, catching all different kinds of fish. Beautiful. Ooh, yeah. You ready? Yeah. Yes, thank you. Some action here.
Get that hook out.
Yeah.
Now what we're doing is there's weed beds. It's kind of shallow up here, and as we get gradually deeper, there's a weed bed out here. Kind of starts just on this side. And it's like 6 to 8 feet out there, and we're kind of working both sides. We've caught fish on both sides of them. Now these bigger fish seem to be laying right in the middle of those weeds, so Tony's got 2 nice ones.
Just a nice big girth fish. Wow, that was fun.
That's what we came up here for. You know, everybody talks about Cross Bay as a big pike factory, and there's big walleyes in here too, but pike is what a lot of people come here for.
Well, that's a good one. That one hit me hard right at the end of the cast. When you spend a whole day casting for pike, you know, it's always fun to have those little fish, those follows. It keeps you excited, keeps you vigilant, it makes you, you know, pay attention to what you're doing, and you never know when that next big fish is gonna bite.
Good job, man. Now one thing, we came up here to target big pike. So normally we're fishing walleyes in this boat, so we went out and got ourselves a big net.
Yeah, I'm glad we upgraded.
You know, when you're fishing big fish and you're targeting big fish, make sure you're prepared. That's just the main thing. Why do you want to get hooked up to a fish of a lifetime and not have the proper tools to get that fish in? We're using 80-pound braid, 100-pound fluoro leaders, and hopefully they just keep getting bigger.
Got a good one?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you bring him to me.
Oh, pig.
Oh, wasn't ready, wasn't ready.
You know, one thing to always remember with these pike is we got barbless hooks. So you always want to keep tension on them. You let that tension go, they're gone.
There you go. Nice fish, man. Oh, how's that feel?
You know, you're casting, it almost gets monotonous. We're sitting here talking about other fishing trips, and all of a sudden, boom, you log into them. Still in shock here. That thing just ripped it. All right, we're gonna get one more good look at this thing and release it. Oh, fish on.
Tony's hooked up. Oh, there you go, nice fish.
Thanks. Just we're getting that other one going.
Yeah,
They don't stop.
prime time.
Absolutely.
I gotta reel in. I'll get the net.
Stick with us for more Fish Addictions TV.
Out here, speed is everything. The new Eskimo rocket runs fast, spins fast, cuts fast. Engineered from the ground up with an engine designed to run at optimal RPMs, giving you its fullest potential within its power band. The bulletproof all-metal transmission is geared to spin fast. The precision-based cutting head effortlessly cuts fast. Nobody sells more powered ice augers than Eskimo. Get assurance, get reliability, get Eskimo.
No matter what you're chasing on the ice this winter, Acme Tackle has you covered. From the innovative Hyper Glide and Hyper Rattle series to legendary Castmaster, Rattle Master, and Sidewinder spoons, or the all-new professional grade tungsten series, Acme Tackle has what you need. Visit acmetackle.com to check out our full product assortment. Acme Tackle rattles louder, glides further, and glows brighter. Get hooked up with Acme Tackle.
Reed's Family Outdoor Outfitters is the #1 ice fishing headquarters. We have everything you need, from today's firearms to the latest fishing electronics and the hottest footwear and outdoor apparel. We only carry the best brands at the best prices. Have a question? No problem. We have the most knowledgeable team in the business, ready to answer your call personally 7 days a week. Whether you're visiting us in Walker, Minnesota, or touching your screen, with our state-of-the-art distribution center, we can get you gear when you need it fast. Cast or blast, Reed's has the best service, best advice, and best price, guaranteed.
Hobbs Resort of Bemidji, Minnesota.
Good fish. Got a decent one. Get over here. Ooh! Still a little green.
We just released a monster.
Wow. Nice fish.
Oh my Lord.
Oof.
Look at us, we're like, oh. How big is it?
Look at that. What a toad. What a toad. Look at them, they're getting fat already.
Honey, can we move to Manitoba?
Every time I get out on the water with Mike and Tony and spend some time in the boat, we always have a great time. You know, we were casting all day, sharing stories, telling jokes.
It's unreal to think that 22 years ago, and it's actually surreal, I just lost my grandpa this year, actually, thinking about it. 22 years ago, he brought myself and my cousins to this very lake. Absolutely, I mean, and that's what I remember is Big Pike. Lots of walleyes, Big Pike. And you know what's the best thing about a lake like this is it's almost unchanged. We pulled up today and I mean, I could remember half the stuff. You know, you make a trip like this up into Manitoba to a lake that has quality walleyes and great pike, you always got to keep your options open. And on day 2, the weather really didn't give us the best opportunity to put some big pike in the boat, so we capitalized on that and went and chased walleyes.
And it was just really fun just to see the amount and the variety of fish. Now this time of year, they're a little tougher to catch. Everybody says they move out deep, but we were really able to find some nice fish in 8 to 14 feet of water, and it was pretty steady action.
Hey Mike, you wanna grab a net? I got a good one here. There we go. Starting to get them dialed in a little bit. Kind of using 2 different presentations. These guys are using the hyper rattle. I had a nice Google Eye jig with a seismic grub on. You know, a little bit different presentation.
Yeah, guys, we're using 2 baits that is new to you guys this year. The hyper rattle is a heavy jigging bait that rattles underneath the water. It's actually, in my eyes, is gonna revolutionize what we're doing on top of structure and just really targeting those deeper fish just because of the weight of it. And the Google Eye, now there's something special about these. They rattle too. Those little inside the eye, which we'll show you in a little bit, actually has a little ball in it. When you're jigging that, it's rattling. Most rattle jigs have a little chamber on the back side of the jig head. Not this one, it's inside the head. spitting little shiners.
There you go, fish on. Need a net? Yeah, might as well. Be a good one to eat. Nice eater. Thanks, buddy. Little ninja action. Perfect eater. That's gonna taste good in the frying pan. Doubled up. Best part about getting into a school.
You know, there's so many ways when you come to Canada that you can fish. That's one of the cool things about it. And that's what makes coming to Canada a trip to remember every year. It's a great time. Anthony's got one on over here.
Better grab myself a net. There we go. That's a fat, healthy one. You know, it's kind of rainy out here today. You know, none of us were overly enthused to get out on the water, but you start putting a few fish in the net and boy, it warms you right up. Little tip for you guys, after you catch a fish, always make sure to inspect your bait. Make sure that your trailer is nice and straight, you're hooked in, get bent out. If you're using a wire bait, that you make sure that it's straightened out so that it's running true in the water. So when you make your next cast, everything's working great and you don't miss that fish of a lifetime. Stick with us for more Fish Addictions TV.
Came back and hit me a second time, Mike. Nice job. Good net.
You know, the 2 times a year that these Canadian waters where the pike get really aggressive is right away in the spring. And for up here, the spring is late May, early June. And then now when September rolls around, these big pike put on the feed bag again. And we're finding them up on the sunny sides of these bays, up in a little bit warmer water, in about an 8-foot to 10-foot transition up into a weed flat. So it seems to be working for us.
They've been real aggressive here, especially now that that sun's up. That's fun.
You know, switching baits all day long isn't a bad thing. When the sun's down, use more, you know, plastics, that kind of stuff. Switch to a flashy bait. You know, go back and forth. You never know what's going to trigger that monster pike.
For sure.
Get her back.
Get back in the water.
Net, good one.
Oh yeah. Oh, holy mackerel. Woo. Fishing and fish addictions is all about friends, family, getting kids out there. On this particular trip, it's 3 friends chasing big pike.
Chasing big trophy pike.
What a hog.
We gotta get her in the water. We'll get a couple pictures of her, let her revive herself a little bit.
Guys, this is what you can expect when you come to Canada and Manitoba to fish. Lots of water that isn't pressured. And when you have that, it's a great combination for trophy fish. And in this case, this is a true trophy pike.
What a fish, man, what a fish. What a way to cap off an already incredible day.
An incredible trip.
Right?
It's been just a few days of crazy pike fishing. We even caught a few walleyes. Guys, Manitoba's the place to be. If you want to catch big fish, we came up here for big pike, and big pike's what we caught.
And not only big pike, but lots of fish. I mean, it's just an incredible fishery. These fish up here, you know, you don't know how long they've gone since they've seen a lure. I mean, it's just incredible.
The only place you see people is in camp. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, it's just a serene place.
You get great fishing, great accommodations, great scenery. I mean, the only thing we haven't seen is a bear, and who knows, we still got a little time left.
Yeah, might come roaming into camp later.